everyone, welcome to you in the class of semester 2, week 2 of being healthy in the modern world. My name is Sumaiya Akter. Today I will look forward with you on the materials of week 2 of semester 2. So there will be a gentle reminder to you all that you have two assignment submission. One is visual storyboard, another one is the essay. So I mentioned the due dates here. One will be the middle of the semester and another will be the end of the semester. So today's learning outcome will be, we will learn about different history of health and healthcare before the 19th century. And we will also learn about history that happened before the 19th century and the early 20th century. So let's see what happens in 19th century and 20th century. So I have a question to you first. What do you think about some improvements in health and healthcare today that you can think of? And do you know of any discoveries that change health and care for the better? So think about that for a few minutes and then we'll go forward. Let's see what happened before the 19th century. If we first have a look at the ancient Egypt, you will see that the earliest of keeping accurate records first started from the Egypt. So nowadays, it's very common to us when you go for your GP, when you go to the NHS or any hospitals, you will see they're always keeping their records. But the first thing started from the Egypt, from the ancient Egypt, and they're the earliest to keep accurate records. The next one will be diagnosed and treated over 200 diseases. So ancient Egypt are the only one who treated and diagnosed over 200 diseases at that time. Imhotep, he was often seen as the first physician, and they are the one first who were closing wounds and setting fractures as their common practice. So according to their health system, this was very common. If you look at the ancient Chinese, they came up with the acupuncture system. Nowadays, it's very popular. You all know about it. But ancient Chinese, they are the one who also recorded herb-based medications. So they focused on herb-based medication from that time. Now it is very popular among us. Also, their treatment of the body, they also included the treatment of the spirit at the same time. So that time, it's all about physical health, but they tried to make it as a spirit as well. If you have a look on the ancient Egypt, you will see that Hippocrates developed some scientific study of medications, and ancient Greece people also also created the first book of anatomy. That means they already have some training on anatomy. They look out at the people's physical structure and they try to make a book on that. They are the first one who made the first book. Before the 19th century, when Europeans went to crusades to the Holy Land in the 12th and 13th century, their doctor gained that Arab medicine got some first-hand knowledge. And then the European doctors, they tried to advance that by Western standards. For example, they started to use of alcohol as an antiseptics so that it will help people when they are doing any medical procedure. From 1347 to 1348, during this time, there were two different plague occurred. One is bubonic, another one is pneumonic. So more than 25 million people died in Europe just on these plagues, and it was called the Black Death. But the Great Plague also occurred in 1665. We didn't have any knowledge how to control that, how to prevent the plague, as seen during the Black Death. Edward Jenner, he first discovered vaccine in 1796, and he discovered the vaccine by using cowpox to treat the smallpox. Jenner published his finding in 1798, and the impact was slow, but it was very sporadic. In 1805, Napoleon had all his soldiers vaccinated. However, vaccination was not made compulsory in Britain until 1852. In 19th century, we saw that industrial revolution came up, but it was around 1830s. But when the industrial revolution came up, a lot of people, they were trying to move into the cities to find better employment and to have a better lives. But what happened, you can see by the picture, that when a lot of people move to the cities, it's not always a good result for us. when they're bringing their family members to live with them, it was in a very small spaces. So their health standard declined, and a lot of airborne disease and other disease spread more easily at that time. They had poor sanitation, poor wages, and by the Industrial Revolution as well, we had problem with the water, with the air. We had different airborne diseases and waterborne diseases just because of industries. In 1842, Edwin Chadwick first argued that disease was the main reason for poverty, and that preventing disease would reduce the poor rate. So what he said that most of the time we think we have disease because of other reasons, but he was saying because we are poor or someone is poor, because of the poverty, we are having more diseases. Do you have any idea how it can be happen? Think about it. So in 1848, the cholera epidemic terrified the government into doing something about the prevention of disease throughout both public and individual health measures. The first public health measures were based upon the idea that marasm was caused by bad smell. So, although the idea was wrong, but the measures against the marasm involved a greater focus on cleanliness in this improved public health. In 1848, the first Public Health Act caused the setting up of a board of health and gave towns the right to appoint a medical health officer, because 1848, you can see easily, we didn't have any medical officer or you didn't have any GP at that time. But at that time, about bad air, they were saying that cholera was happening because of the bad air, and this is causing the diseases. As a result, many of the public health measures were aimed at eliminating the bad air. So as they were thinking the bad air is causing the disease, they are trying to eliminate that. But one physician named John Snow, he was against this theory. And he was saying that I should do some tests. And after the investigation, he found out and he proved that the water and the contaminated water is being consumed by all the patient. That's why they're having the cholera. And he first started the measures of public health. In 1853, the vaccination against smallpox was made compulsory. I included one paper cut from one newspaper, and you can see that before 1853, the vaccination of smallpox was not mandatory. In 1875, a Public Health Act enforced, and they were saying that from now on, we will have a new law so that we will have a slum clearance, we will have clean water and provision of sewers, and there will be removal of nuisance. The benefit of these measures soon became clear, because at the late of 19th century, different local councils, they are competing each other to provide the best public health services. And in 1906, local councils, they were trying to provide free school meals for the poor children. And in 1907, school medical examinations were ordered for all children. And among these examinations were those of the needy nurse. In 1908, old age pensions were introduced so that it can help older population to have a good health by having old age pension. In 1911, national insurance was introduced. So by this, they were providing free medical treatment for the worker who fell ill. There's a quick review in this lesson. We looked health and healthcare before the 19th century. We also examined healthcare and advancements during the 19th century. In the next session, we will learn more about the health and healthcare in the 20th century. Thank you so much for being today. Have a nice time. Bye, everyone.